Welcome back, Bravehearts, to the Doc of Detox show. Today's show is Crystal Life Energy with Peter Webb. Now, understand something, everyone. You cannot just watch the show. If you want, you can call in, or not call in, but you can type in with your questions, okay? So all you got to do is go to show.docofdetox.com to get your Zoom link. And that's the same Zoom link that we use for all the shows, okay? So understand, if you ever want to be on and ask questions live of anybody, even when I do my New World Practitioner, we have a Zoom link for every show now, okay? Because actually we do these shows for you. And don't forget too, that our Black Friday sale started, okay? And it's been on for a few days, and it's over at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So that'll be until Monday. So that's next Monday. So you've got 1 week to grab this sale. And when I say this, you know, people go, this is the biggest sale. Well, it is the biggest sale of the year for us. We let you really take advantage of this due to Christmas coming and the cold and flu season coming. And yeah, so if you want to stock up, this is the time. And if there's favorite products you like, then this is the time. Pretty well everything is on sale. Now, just so you know that after we do the show with Peter Webb, we're back here at 2 p.m. Central Time, okay, with George Roach, okay? And the show's called One Love, One Law. And we're going to be talking about the rules that these fools have made, that people are following, that are going to ruin our economy and ruin our health, and are going to tear families apart, okay? And this show today at 2 p.m. Central Time is called Big Trouble in Little Hospital, okay? All right? And then, just so you know, Monday, November 22nd, no, that's not right. Okay. All right. So when's John coming on?
John, we got John at tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right. 11 o'clock. John Schrager. Okay. Listen, he is our chemist. He is part of the science team that makes our humic fulvic. I'm going to tell you something right now. Humic fulvic is a big deal. Humic fulvic helps to take down nanobots in the body. Believe it or not, okay? It helps to get rid of symptoms of the V, believe it or not. Okay, humic helps to balance hormones better than any other product on the planet. Fulvic, okay, we have different types of fulvic. We have a fulvic that'll take 6 times its weight in toxicity. We have another fulvic called Black Diamond that will take 60 to 70 times its weight in heavy metals and toxicity out of the body. We have the only pure humic fulvic on the market today, and we can prove that. We have the only laboratory that has actually been approved by the government because of all the restrictions and how sanitary and how pure our product is. So you're going to want to really check out that show. Okay. And then on Wednesday, we will have Terry Mullins, who invented infinite iodine, which is the smallest molecular iodine in the world. And he invented infinite iodide, which it goes directly to the thyroid, goes directly to your parathyroid. And the infinite iodine will actually get rid of infection within 15 seconds when you spray it in the back of your throat. You can also nebulize this iodine, which you can't with other iodines. And it'll actually go in and clear out problems in the lungs and everywhere throughout the body, because this iodine is not nano, it's not pico, it's theta. Theta means that it's 10,000 times smaller than pico, which is 10,000 times smaller than nano. So that's pretty small. Now, let's talk about today. So you can see right here, okay? So understand this. Here are these crystals. Really, crystals. Well, they're pretty, but what do they do? You know, a lot of people think that this is just fluff. Why is it that people actually believe that, and they do today, that blue light poisoning, right? Blue light poisoning, okay, will damage your eyes and damage your brain and damage the neurological system. And they'll believe that. Why is it that people believe that 5G and 4G, okay, and now that when 5G comes out, we're going to have lots of damage to the neurological system? They can believe that. But why is it that that's invisible, but they believe that, but they don't believe in radionics? And radionics is actually a science. It's a proven science. And today, We have one of the top specialists in radionics in the world, okay? And Peter's going to be talking to us about how he took the highest quality crystal in the world and how you're able to actually infuse frequencies and light energy into these crystals that never runs out. And he's actually able to actually infuse whether we need a new frequency because of a new V or a new bacterial strain, or there could be a new toxin out there, or he infuses different types of emotions in here. And you know that every nutrition, every supplement, every vitamin, every mineral has a frequency. And he's taken a lot of our products and put frequencies in here. He's taken a lot of the positive emotions that we need in our life and put those frequencies in here. This is called a bodyguard, like this one that you wear around your neck. This here is called what? This is called a defender. This will do a 50-acre building, whether it's a hospital, a church, or a school. This one here is called the guardian, and it will do a 50-acre garden. And guess what? You're going to see a difference in the way things grow with your garden. You're going to see a difference the way people act in your church, in your school, or in their hospital. You're going to see a difference in the way that people act with protectors in their homes. So we're going to bring Peter on, and then you can come on and you can put your questions up on Zoom, or you can put them on Facebook, and we're going to answer them for you today. Peter's a very dear friend of mine. He's got a beautiful heart, and he's doing a beautiful thing. And I want him to talk about how he got called because of the worst lakes in India that was poisoned. The fish were dying. The good algae was gone and the bad algae moved in. People could not drink the water. They could not swim in the water. And how he never even went to India, but he used radionics to change that lake. And now there's fish in it. People swim in it. People drink it. Now, is that voodoo? What is it? No, it's frequencies. We are light, energy, electrical, magnetic beings. We have frequencies that emit from us and frequencies that come into us. And everything is about light and everything is about frequency. Why don't you talk about the sun? Why don't you talk about the iodine frequency that comes off the ocean? Why don't you talk about the blue light again? Why don't you talk about the 5G? And everything has frequency, everything you eat and drink. And the vibration of that frequency will depend on how it was grown and who manipulated it, if it was, and what their intention was, because intention's everything. Peter, what do you think?
Well, everything you've said is right on, and we've made a lot of advances since the last time we talked. And I'll give you an example. We put in advanced hydration, and basically what we took was a glass bowl.
All right.
And we put the protector in it.
Okay.
Then we put spring water and Himalayan salt.
Yes.
Just a tiny bit. That puts more electrolytes in. So by doing that, we were able to broadcast moisture. So the first thing I did, I checked the leaves on the trees, and they went up 40% in moisture. And then I checked apples, and they went up 40% moisture. And now what I found in the home, plants don't require nearly as much water. They're getting enough from the atmosphere. Now, I've been checking the hydrometer on our barometer, and it stays steady at 70 to 75% humidity in the house. And as you see, I got heavy, it's winter here, or cold, it's cold. So normally you've got the heat on that dry the house, so you have all kinds of static on your clothing and in your home. So this eliminates all of the static, but it's not to a level where it would make the house damp. It's just a frequency of water in the atmosphere that can pass through the cells into our bodies, through our breath, help our lungs to stay lubricated. So this is one of the things we've done. Now, coming back to your, I wanted to just go over some of the stuff. Like, as you realize, I'm from the farm, and all the work that we're doing for these crystals is to support all life on this planet. And so we realize that even the electromagnetic fields, the man-made frequencies that are coming off in the home, especially 5G and 3G, are affecting the bacteria in our digestive system, in our bodies. It's also putting our bodies more acidic. But the technology that we use, we have to keep changing and changing as the environment around us, because when we set up the 5G frequencies to neutralize them, they were only running them at half power. Now they've gone up to full power. And I'm having calls from the US that saying they're actually activating 6G in some areas. And so we had to, again, retool our frequencies to shield us from the newer frequencies that are coming in. Now, everything on the living on up above the ground has hair on it, and there's a reason for that, because these little hairs are antennae, and even a bee has hair, and it's like an antenna, and when it goes to a plant, it pollinates it, and then when that plant change is pollinated, it gives off a different frequency, so the bee never go back to that same flower to pollinate it again. So it comes back to our bodies, which are covered in hair. They're acting as antennae, and of course the follicle is receiving and sending throughout your body. But the problem we have is we're merged in AC frequencies, that's alternating current, and that's not what works in our body. Our body has to be DC. So what we did, we come up with another.
Can you hold for a second, Peter? Georgia would like to be admitted into Zoom. Can you do that? Thank you. There you go. We've just got people coming into Zoom, so thanks, Peter. Go ahead.
All right. So then we were looking at the aspect of, after we did this, we found that there was too much acidity in the skin, which would be true to the all these frequencies do increase acidity in our body. So I had to put in what we call a buffer around your body. And what we use is a bentonite. Bentonite clay is used in farming to feed animals to absorb toxins and acids out of the digestive system of these animals. So we put that in to absorb the excess acid in our body. And to test this out, I had a call from a gentleman who had a huge lake. No, we're not going to name where it was, because the government hate us cleaning lakes. They don't want us messing in their lakes because they like them the way they are, which is, anyway, this lake was covered in blue-green algae. And so from home, I mentally, we call it virtually, put a hair follicle hair in the middle of the lake, and the follicle was in the water and the roots. Then I broadcast DC current to that lake. And from that started at 1 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock, there was no more blue-green algae in that lake. It was totally gone. So that our bodies with we use these hair, but we don't realize that the level of how they're part of our whole electrical makeup.
Yeah, people don't get that the hair on their body is actually an antenna, and that's what its real purpose was meant to be, was to actually receive information and to put information out. And that hair is more of a crystalline than it is anything. And that's the reason why it's like that. Yeah.
Well, if you know dogs, cats, when they get scared, the hair stand right on end. And you've heard people say, boy, I felt the hair stand up on the back of my neck. And that's true. So going on from that, this is where we kind of get into a lot of innovative stuff, because we know we have a subconscious mind, but we can't access it. So I came up with frequencies to open the pathways to the subconscious mind, and
Well, we could certainly use those.
turned the receptors on. And then I realized we have to do something really innovative here. So I took the summer solstice sun and put it in the left hemisphere of a male subconscious, and the full moon in the right hand in males. And then in females, the full moon was in the left and the sun was in the right. And that's why you have to have opposites, because opposites attract. And one is positive, and one of everything we do has to be in synchronicity and balance. We can't go in with anything that's not in harmony and balance.
Peter, can I deviate for a second? I'm just having to just maybe poke the bear for a second here. You've been alive for quite a while, okay? You've been around. You've lived on a farm. You've seen the soil be rich and full of life, and now you see the soil and it is empty in most cases, or not empty, but it is devoid in nutrition, but it's high in chemical. It's devoid in proper bacteria, but it's got the wrong fungi in it now, or the wrong type of microorganisms. I want to just ask you this question on a personal, and you may not be able to answer this, but I have to do this. And I know it's a little bit off topic, but what do you think of all of these very rich, eccentric people trying to kill us all the time, trying to ruin our world? You know, don't get me wrong, Peter, but we wouldn't need all your crystals. We wouldn't need filters. We wouldn't need Tesla glasses. We wouldn't need me. You wouldn't need me. You wouldn't need you. I mean, we might still play with this stuff to enhance what has been God-given, but right now we're trying to get back what was God-given that was taken away. And you know, people never talk about this. They never talk about it. They just talk about it like it's normal that we're being poisoned and undermined at every turn. You know what? I got to tell you something. The stories that I get should not be this great. You know, when I get people buying like a bodyguard or one for their children, the little children's one, where the child was crying and suffering every night, and then all they do is put this on maybe the ankle of the baby or hang it on the crib, and they tell me that it just changes everybody's lives. You know, it's like, how do we even get here? Why do we have to protect our children, protect ourselves from these people that control everything and poison everything? Do you ever think about that? Or are you just like most people, that it's just like, you know, this is the way it is. It's a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. And, you know, some people don't wake up and they just get sick and they die.
No, I'm fully aware of what you're talking about from when I was a small child growing up in England. And these people, we won't name them, but we know who they are. They're the ones that start the wars. They bring the wars into
our homes.
Yeah, because, and then of course, when in this particular case, when the bombing was done, they said, well, you'll make fertilizer out of the bombs, which was because the bombs were filled with ammonium nitrate and dynamite, or anyway. So then they produced the fertilizer. And again, one of the scientists that was involved in the fertilizer manufacture, after it was out and he realized it wasn't ethical, it wasn't doing a good job, he disappeared in the night. He was gone, and that's what's happened. And so the same companies that produced the bombs and the weapons and now the ones that are producing the drugs, the medication, the vaccines, and there is certainly big money. These people are making obviously big money out of.
Yeah, but I don't think
training
it's not
suffering.
about the money. It's actually these families think that they have the right to pillage and murder and it's their planet and we're ants. We're just ants to them. So that's really the bottom line.
So
I'm trying to tell you, do you think when you were talking about consciousness, okay, and getting into the subconscious, opening it up a little bit with people using frequencies, do you actually think there'll ever be any consciousness here that we could actually see a shift for the first time? I mean, people say that the world has ended 5 times, so we're on the 6th already. So we can't seem to get the game right, can we?
no, and this is one of my missions around all of what we're talking about now is
Okay.
to give people the shielding, protection, and we've put in a lot of frequency. Actually, it's interesting because I've had to put in the frequency of the will to live. That's
Yeah,
one that we
I
put
believe
in.
that. I believe it.
And I've also put in the frequency of truth. And that tells you the state of where we are as this, we had had a farmer that had poultry that were, he was the big guardian or the defender. We put them in barns, and believe it or not, the mortality rate drops significantly. And so he bought one for his other farm where he has a lot of workers, and there was a lot of friction within the people working on that farm. And he said the first day it went in, one guy was almost losing it, and then he flipped. The next day it normalized him. There was no more friction. He said the peace and tranquility and the work they got out of those people was just greatly improved. Another one that we talked about a long time ago was putting in the frequency to hold the electromagnetic field in the wire, right in the wire, so it doesn't leach out. There's so much electricity that leaches from the wire into the ground and then back to the substation. And we're getting calls about people that their hydro bills are going down, and it's not a small amount, it's a significant amount. Like one guy called me last week from Michigan, and his bills have gone down $80 a month. Ours went down 25% a month. So we're providing you with something that's for your health and your environment, as well as saving you money over the long run. And I've also had to, one of the things I never thought, we put in the frequencies of cell regeneration when we were doing this follicle thing. And we had so many people calling and say, well, my skin is tightened up, my turkey neck is gone, or my loose skin on my arms is tightened up. So, all it is a frequency to regenerate, to boost the cells, repair. And this is why I really believe that if we maintain this technology, I can see in the future that one of these house units, a protector, will be powering the cars. I see the future is because we're using DC electricity, and believe it or not, we've had these for quite a while, and the batteries in are like the remotes for the air conditioner, 12 years old, and they've never been changed. The ones I've got a Timex watch, 12 years old, never changed the battery in it because it's powered by a DC battery, and by increasing the DC current in your home, it's actually keeping those batteries charged. Our body is like a battery, everything.
It's all about energy, isn't it? And somebody's asking,
all about energy. Yeah.
Somebody's asking right now, could you please explain what radionics is? I'm new to the show and I've never heard about it before. It's not that I don't believe you, Peter, but please explain it.
Well, radionics has been around since the early 1900s by Dr. Galen Hieronymus, was one of the leaders in North America. And we have companies in Georgia, and that they've been building radionics for over 100 years now, and it is used extensively in hospitals in Europe, and farms have been, most farmers have been using it. I've used it here because everything is frequency. So the farmer wants his corn dried in the field, and we just simply put in a picture of the summer sun, and we broadcast to the field, and we dry that corn down in the field to save him drying costs. The same as tobacco. We've done tobacco. So yeah, all these machines are like, they got dials on them they're called tuning dials. They tune into the frequency. So you go through, like when we were looking at a certain thing, we'll say glutathione that we're putting in now, we would access a product that has glutathione, then we'd isolate that frequency, and then we put it into the product. So there are people in the United States, many of them, that are strictly working with radio. One gentleman I know, he has about 500 radionics machines that he's working with to look after people's livestock and their crops, and that's his whole livelihood. He spends every day almost working in that. So it's the problem with people is that it does take a bit of there are companies, Kelly Instruments, for argument's sake, they build radionics machines. They have meetings all around the US to train people on how to use this technology.
Right.
As well as another one there called the Lightning. The latest one I bought is a Lightning machine, and it's so advanced compared to the older ones. It's like the radionics machines are progressing like the computers did. They're getting more effective, and they're using mirrors inside to mirror energy to increase the output of these machines, and they're really working well. So yeah, it's just a matter of if you want to knock out, we'll say, mercury in the water, you can go to the atomic chart, get the frequency of mercury. Then all you do with the radionics machine is reverse those frequencies and send it out, and then neutralize that mercury. Within hours, it'll be gone. And this is why, the powers to be doesn't recognize radionics because it's so effective and so cheap, and it is very safe. I mean, everything we do, we double check to see. When we put in a frequency, we use it. We check plants, trees, animals, people, just to make sure it's putting in the positive frequencies that we need.
Listen, we've got some new people here, and they're asking. Jane's saying, "Can you please just tell us what each of these crystals that you're talking? What is it they do?" So why don't we start off with the children's one, okay? Because with the children's bodyguard.
Okay, the children's actually, all the products are programmed the same. It's the same program, but the difference is the children's pendant does 15 feet around it. That's this area that it does, and that would be. Is
that 15? Okay, but 15 feet from the head up, 15 feet up, from the feet down, and then 15 out both directions.
That's correct. You're like you're in a bubble. And basically what it's doing, it's supporting all of the functions in your body. And this, it's supporting your digestive system, your bloodstream, your lungs, and every part of your body. In fact, few people understand that you have an energy field around your body. It's commonly called the aura. The aura is an extension of your immune system. And if you've got a healthy aura, any virus that comes into it is basically destroyed before it can get into your physical body. That's why, but you see people that are being exposed to a lot of EMFs and blue light, their aura may be only 6 inches away from their bodies, and that's why they get sick so easy. Whereas if you're wearing the pendant, it's going to be out there 15 feet. An adult will be 20 feet, and so it's basically supporting your immune system so you can protect yourself from all the viruses. It's
Yeah.
not going to be, yeah.
I was just showing these are the adult ones, so you can
Yeah,
see
they're
the
the
difference
adult
in
ones.
size.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't have to wear it around your neck. You can put it in your pocket,
No.
right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we get so many people phoning up and saying they're so happy with these. They thank me so much, and they're so happy with the results they're getting. Their whole lives can change for the positive. And this is where my whole thought is that we have to, us people that are open-minded, that are open to these technologies, we have to embrace something that's going to protect us, because things are not going to get any easier as we go along, as they keep bringing out more and more technology that is in our homes, in our cars. And then again, if they go with electric cars with AC current, it's not a healthy place to be sitting in those. They got to go over to DC current on those cars. And I think that's,
but they're not going to do that, Peter. They're
no.
never, everybody, you need to get this. They're not going to make healthy decisions for you. And if you're not going to get this, that guess what? Corporations do not love you. They do not care for you.
No.
Whether we're talking about the medical system or the government, or we're talking about any other corporation, they pretend. They're the great pretenders. And you can say that we pretend, but we don't pretend, because we are community, and we need to stay a community, and we need to learn to care for one another. Right, Peter?
That's right. We have to. One of the things that we notice is, like, I'll give you an example. My neighbor raises a few chickens every year for himself and his buddies. And this year, because we're broadcasting into all over his property, he got the birds in. He never lost one single bird. They all went to market, and they weighed anywhere from 8 to, most of them were over 10 to 12 pounds. So they were big birds. We have poultry farms that put them in the poultry barn, and they have very, very few mortalities. And these birds are now consistently laying 98 eggs for every 100 birds. So they're laying 90% eggs every day.
And that's using the Guardian, am I correct?
Yeah.
Now,
We've
remember,
even got the Guardian.
Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, we have the Guardian in chicken barns, but we also have the Defender now going into feed, where they produce a feed for these birds, because they're finding it takes out the harmful vomitoxins, microtoxins, and aflatoxins out of the feed, and the birds stay healthier. So, with reason I'm putting this in here is we're showing you how we can make animals healthier. But we're getting the same frequencies now. Even plants. We have a farmer that grows early green peas. They're the mini peas that go in cans. You normally get 2 ton an acre of those, and he gets 3 ton. And after they were off, he planted green beans, and you normally get 4 ton an acre, and he got 6 ton an acre.
I hope everybody's getting this, okay, and understand something. Peter is not known for his lying. Take a look at him, feel his energy out, and understand that we're talking about, it's all about energy. It's always been about energy, everyone. It's always been about frequency. It's always been about light, because we're light energy, electrical magnetic beings. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a live tomorrow in my live, and I'm going to play an actual audio where they took, 4 ivy plants. They put a crystal in the middle. They hooked up the 4 ivy plants together, and you're going to think that it's a whole orchestra, and it's in a cathedral with probably maybe 100 people singing. And wait till you hear this. And this is only the vibration that's coming off the plants. Anyways, Peter, go ahead.
Yeah, well, there was a test done with radionics on a philodendron plant, and the woman that was keeping it was, saying nice things to it and being kind to it. And these plants literally communicate for miles. And so the guy came in with a cigarette and a bad attitude, and he started burning the leaves on the plant. And there are philodendron plants all over the neighborhood that took they went into shock the same way as that one plant. And we've seen it here where we are, where they come in and start foresting, clear cutting an area of trees, and the trees for a long way around start dying. They just distress and they feel pain. We don't know it, but they do. They have feelings and emotions, and I can understand those ivy plants creating an orchestra. I can walk. I know this is a little off the wall, but I can walk into a cornfield. And I know corn have ears because you eat them. But I'll ask the corn, is there something you're deficient in? And they will always tell me we're deficient in nitrogen or something. And here again, if we use energy, the air is 78% nitrogen. And when you have lightning and the lightning strikes when it's raining, and corn, it releases the nitrogen in the air and the plants take it in. Those plants will literally grow 12 inches overnight. It's just something to see. And so, with the crystals, they are also bringing nitrogen in because it is a precursor to protein. And they're bringing in a lot of carbon from the atmosphere and putting it into the soil and in frequency into our bodies and into the water. So, these are doing multiple jobs, and it's all from 40 years of studying nature. It's amazing when you work with nature how quickly it will respond. Like, call me crazy, but if there's a big rain and I see a dew worm on the driveway, I'll go and pick it up and put it back on the lawn. I don't want some robin to eat him. So we have to, these little guys, it doesn't go from the tiny microbes to the biggest, the earthworms. They're all part of our health. I mean, without them, we'll be doomed. And this is what's happening. We've had farms that sold an acre of land to a phone company to build a cell phone tower. And that broadcasted it'd be 3G at the time, but it killed the bacteria in the soil. The soil went dead. It got so hard that really difficult to work with. So with the 5G, and now never before, but these companies that have been producing the fertilizers and chemicals are now getting into growing bacteria to put back in the soil. And there was another, they're now starting to produce enzymes to put it back in the soil. So again, the farmer has got to buy these inputs, as we call them. And it's basically, he's paying more money than if we went back to the way nature was before we started all these chemicals on the soil. Now, this last week I had to go back to, and this is where radionics is so flexible. You can go back in time, and I went back to before the Garden of Eden to get the energy of the soil and the plants and bring it forward to put in what we have in front of us.
Right.
And so, you can do that. And, like the same as when we were looking for the purest water that we wanted, we had to go to Angel Mountain in Venezuela. Well, I didn't drive down there. I just got a video, and then you tap into it radionically, and you copy that water and you put it into all the crystals. You've got the high energy, pure water in there. So there, these are some. Yes, we also come across the number of human spirits that are in our bodies that are damaged, and they could have been damaged in the fetal stage or even prior. See, a lot of spirits just keep reincarnating. So we found we had people, and once we put this spiritual energy in to heal our spirit, it again was another step forward in our health, and well-being. And of course, I'm just looking at notes I got here. Oh yeah, the etheric body, that's basically what we were healing at that time. So I'm getting on so anyway, if we go back, and the frequencies we started with was like a figure 8 that we put into everything we do. And that is every cell in our body, it rotates clockwise, and then it pauses where nutrients can go into the cell and waste come out. And then it goes counterclockwise. Again, you've got the positive and negative. And it's the way the body cleanses itself. So we had to put those in. That was probably the number one thing is to cleanse the blood in our bodies. And all it takes is this spin. So basically that, and then of course, we've done all the vitamins and minerals. We've been putting them in for a long time, but also the first things we were putting in was oxygen and hydrogen and again, you can have it by a little meter like this one. It clicks on your finger and it'll give you oxygen reading. And I checked mine and it was 99% just before the show. So, that's if you've got high blood oxygen, you're healthy and your immune system is at peak, and you're going to be able to fight off a lot of the viruses that are in the atmosphere, coming from the different places we go to. So
Yeah, and if I can say something, I know it's a little bit off topic, but everybody, I want you to get this. So when we started working with Peter, they're beautiful. People would, at they bought them, and went, well, I'm not sure if it'll work, but it's beautiful anyways. I'd probably buy it even if it doesn't work. That's what a lot of people said. And I think that you can, if I were to say this, I'm pretty right, eh, Peter? Every time that we reorder from you, it's 2 to 4 times bigger order, isn't it? I mean, the product is speaking for itself, right from allergies to asthma to autoimmune diseases to skin condition to hearing to eyesight. You're going to see gradual changes most of the time. Most people, within a few days, their skin clears up. That's the one that they see a lot, okay? Or their digestive problems calm down a lot compared to the way that we used to be.
Yeah, we get, actually, I got an email from some lady in Ireland yesterday that was asking questions because a friend of hers had purchased both the Bodyguard and the Defender, or the Protector. And they were so happy that she just wanted to know how it was working. In fact, we get calls from, it seems to be from all over the world now. Actually, I had a couple in here yesterday looking at the product. They're moving to Belize. They're leaving Canada. They're out of here. They got the container in with all the furniture in it. They're leaving next week. and they wanted to take some stuff down with them for their new. They just wanted to defend it for their new property that they're going to be purchasing in Belize, and that's where they're moving to. So yeah, there's certainly far more interest and attention being put on these products, as far as, you know, as a farmer, if he gets something that doesn't work, and he'll go over and he sees neighbor next door, and he'll say, "Don't buy that stuff. That's no good." Word goes like crazy how fast it spreads. And the same thing is now happening with people that are getting positive results, and they're talking to other friends, and yeah, the word of mouth is probably the most positive thing that we have today with these products, because, well, we know they're doing everything we say they are. So
Peter, we have a lady yesterday, because of the sale from France, and she bought 22 bodyguards for her grandchildren and children for Christmas. So, yeah.
No, this is it's certainly. I think you'll find that the grandparents are buying it for their grandchildren. I mean, we've seen it even where we are. People are coming in and buying it for children, and you know, some kids will be wearing them in soccer and lose it on the soccer field, and they'll go back, and strangely enough, they find it again and give it back to the child, and he's out on the soccer field again. So no, it's something that we're looking at, and you know, this, like Daryl says, the skin is probably one of the things you notice the quickest to regenerate and become healthy, and because actually your skin is breathing as well, you know, it's and that's why this putting this moisture into the atmosphere is allowing your skin to absorb moisture, because people are not just drinking enough water anymore. They're drinking a lot of soft drinks and coffee and other means of, but it's not hydrating their bodies. It's the only thing that really hydrated is water, and of course,
and structured water being the best. So
it's structured, because the quality of water on the planet is not the best.
well, it's not meant to be the best. We talked about that. Everything that is given to us will always be subpar.
So most of the water has been recycled over and over about 10 times. So there is a thing called primal water, which we have the frequencies into independence. Primal water is new water on the planet. It comes out of the rocks, and it has been proven very beneficial in healing, and people with drug addiction, they get in this primal water in this lake down in Mississippi, and they come out without any drug addiction. So, you know, water is the key to a lot of healing within our bodies, and
right,
keeps everything lubricated.
Yeah, that's why we make sure that most people understand the why you would do structured water. And structured water has the lowest surface tension. It carries the most information and light into your body. And when you, with a structure unit, you're not putting out any more money. They last forever, and you can structure as much water. You can structure anything you drink, anything you bathe in. And then people, if you don't know what structured water is, rainwater structured, or water coming down from a fast moving river from the mountains.
Yeah. With the protector, the body, all of the protector, bodyguard, the guardian, and defender, they are putting oxygen into the soil, into the soil, and into your body. So, you know, we we do tests out in the field, and there's maybe 10 or 12 parts per million of oxygen. But when these are in the home, you're running around 20, 22 parts per million of oxygen. So your whole home is healthier. Your environment, your offices, wherever you put these things, they're going to have a positive effect. We carry one in our car, and for some unknown reason, the oil used to get dark over 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers, but now it doesn't. It seems that it's burning, the engine is burning cleaner and using or putting less carbon in the oil. So even the cars are breathing oxygen. And of course, when you've got 40% humidity in the atmosphere, that goes into the air breather, into the engine, and it works with the oxygen, hydrogen, and it's obviously it's having a positive effect on the emissions coming out of the tailpipe, but we have no measurements on that at all. It's just that we know the oil doesn't get as dark as it did prior to putting these in the car.
Peter, I have somebody asking a question. Tracy wants to know, I live in a 15-story apartment, and when I put my phone on, there's hundreds of Wi-Fis, and there's a 5G tower on top of the roof. What would I need to protect myself and my family in my condo? I'm on the 12th floor.
Well, what we've run into this in other places in the U.S., and we recommend they have a defender because you've got to ground your apartment, and when you're that high up, you've got to have something that can go down right down into the ground to ground all of the static and electricity in your apartment. And but it can. We've got these things. We've been putting them into. We've actually got them in hotels now in Toronto, but we've had condominiums that they were having trouble renting, and after they put in the defender, within days people are coming in, and the whole condominium complex is fully booked now because it is an environment that people feel comfortable with.
It's all about energy.
And, we've got even real estates using the protector. They put them in the house that they're selling, so when people walk in, it feels comfy and cozy, and it helps them to sell the property. So it's nothing. You can feel it, and this is the main thing. Once you feel it, then it goes on. You just feel better, and certainly what we just did. It's complicated what we just did on this 5 and 6G, because we got a call from a university in Michigan that they're building all these 10 and 12-story buildings to put in the Chinese students that are coming to that university, but they're getting sick from the 5G. So, we know that elements like lead will block it and aluminum will block it, but we can't put that in radionically so we had to go to kind of come up with a complex mix of silver and copper, and they're just using those frequencies to block that 5G coming in. So, and it worked, because when we did that, plants responded immediately. And I was watching a video from Spain where they have 5G, and the woman said she was on this island, and she said we had all kinds of bugs and birds and small birds.
1 second, Marlene, because you mentioned it, it's like you're reading off of here. Marlene Trithart, bed bugs are becoming a huge problem. In apartments and hotels. Would it keep bed bugs away? I'm not kidding. She just wrote this. So, and you were just talking about birds and bugs and stuff. So,
well, yeah. So basically, let me finish that, because the birds, when 5G came in, the birds and the bugs all disappeared. Even mosquitoes disappeared. Guess what came in and proliferated? Rats. The whole area was rats are multiplying everywhere. And actually, it's interesting. We had a situation last week where we had mice get up in the telephone pole across the road, and they built a nest in the box that came over to our house. And I didn't know mice had climbed trees 30 feet high to get into the box on the hydro, but we had to put some bait out to get the little devils, because you don't want them being around. Yeah, but all these they like negative energy, whether it's a bed bug, a flea, a louse, or any of these animals that can be cockroaches. And so if you get a positive energy, they're not going to hang around. They're going to move on.
Rita wants to know, my first time hearing about this product, I would like one for my apartment building, and I missed the name for the 5G on top of an apartment. You told her that she should do the Defender, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so love, that's called the Defender. Can I show that, Sean, because I'm not up on the screen? Okay, so there's the Defender right there. And the Defender will do up to what? 50 acres, right? A 50-acre building?
Oh, yeah, at least. Yeah. Since we put the water in, it can go up to almost 500 acres now.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so it's got a lot. Everything we got, it's got more power in it to do a better.
Isn't it kind of funny, Peter? They'll come at us with stuff, and then we'll go and we'll come back with stuff to protect ourselves. Then they'll come out with more toxic stuff, and then we'll come and we'll try to, and we'll get stuff to protect ourselves. So never give up, people, you know. But the deal is that the only way we can end this game is if we end these people. And I don't mean go out and kill them, but we need to start unconditionally loving ourselves and each other and minding our own business and ignoring these people who think they're authority over us, and stop cowering to them. That might be a good idea, really, I think. Yeah. So let me see here. There was another person that said, okay, can you go up a little bit further? Let's go to the top. She was asking, this first time on the show, where do I go to purchase these? Just go to docofdetox.com, but better to go to store.docofdetox.com. And just so you know, this is the biggest sale we'll have on these for the whole year. Okay, so you can check that out if you want. Tracy Dutoit, if I have a guardian for my property, do I need one around my neck as well? I hardly go out and about, so I'm mostly at home.
No, she wouldn't. If you're in the area of the guardian, it'll protect you the same as it does.
Just start from the top, Sean. I'm going to work my way down. Okay. So what were you saying, Peter?
Yeah, if you have a guardian and you live in that environment, it's protecting you. You don't need a pendant. But the reason we have pendants is if you get in your car, go to the supermarket or the store or movie or anything else, when you leave your property,
I'll just read through them, Sean. I don't mind.
You've done all of them.
No, I didn't at the top. Okay, so that's good. Go back to the top. Okay, the impact of COVID. No. COVID, everybody's talking about COVID, but just know this. We've already talked about it, Peter? This will protect you against a cold and a flu, and that's what COVID is, okay? Yeah. All right, and the reality is, whether you want to believe this, people, the cold and the flu will be as bad as your stress is about the cold and the flu. That's the worst stress about it. And you know what? You know what the big thing is that people don't get, Peter? To this day, people don't get it. They don't understand the sicker you are is the amount that you've been beating yourself up emotionally and physically and not knowing it. Because there's no such thing as sickness. There's only such thing as healing. You're going, what is he talking about? Well, guess what? You're only laid out in bed because you haven't been eating right, thinking right, drinking right. Okay, people that really look after themselves don't end up in bed where they can't move and in suffering and in pain, because pain is a GPS. And you know what? If you're really in pain and you live in pain, that's because you've got painful beliefs about your life and you're terrorizing yourself and you're not eating right, thinking right, drinking right. What do you think, Peter?
That's true. You know, there's Nancy and myself, we're always thinking positive. We never let anything get on it, bring us down. We think of the bright and the positive side
Right.
all along, because believe me, it can get a lot worse if you get sucked down that rabbit hole.
And it's going to get a lot worse. We're going to have the third COVID coming, everyone. So get ready for lockdown number 3. Okay. So Norton Estes, thank you, Dr. Wolf. And I'd like some information on taking C60. Well, when are we doing that show with Peter on C60?
I believe that's Thursday. Let me double check.
So I
Yes,
think
Thursday at 12 noon.
this Thursday at 12 noon, we're doing a live show with Richard, who is he holds the patent for the way that the C60's produced. And I'll tell you right now, you may not believe it, but we have the only authentic C60 that I actually know of now. We did a show about 2 months ago. And after we did that show, 95% of the C60 on Amazon is no longer there. You can figure out the rest of the story. And as far as taking C60, 1 teaspoon under the tongue, hold it until it becomes watery like, about 2 minutes, and do that 4 times a day. And I'll tell you why people are asking about this so often. France is trying to make C60 illegal there because it neutralizes the effects of the vaccine and of COVID. And if you read about C60, you'll understand it's the highest vibrational molecule on the planet right now. It goes in and it reorganizes your brain, your nervous system, and heals what needs to be healed. We'll be talking about that more Thursday at 12 noon Central Time, everyone. Okay, Mary Jane, I have a personal one on my neck and a guardian in my home. I have okay, she's already said that. Really feels good. I was just going to read it and see what she's got to say. In my home, very peaceful when I eat lunch on the deck. I take the guardian outside and the birds love it. Thank you both for these wonderful healing energies. God bless you. Can listen to you all day. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Let's see what else we got here. I'm trying to buy these for my family and our pets. Where can I find them? Go to store.docofdetox.com. Can you put that up? Do you mind?
Yeah, it's under your name in the stream.
Oh yeah, and have you been running about the sale? Because people are asking me if we're actually running a sale.
Yes.
It's right there. Everybody, just look at the bottom. That guy's just making a joke. Because when Peter said, that now they're coming out with 5G, now 6G, he says, good, 6 is better. So there you go. Okay. Hi, I don't see all your products. Well, if you go to store.docofdetox.com, need information on detox from Jab. I didn't take it, but friends of mine did. Let me tell you something. We have people coming here, and one of the most powerful things that you're going to find out about that, it's called Cellsonic. Go to our services or store.docofdetox.com. It runs 25,000 volts and puts it into a love harmonic. I did say 25,000 volts. And that goes into your cells. And it reorganizes your cells and tells them they are no longer sick. And remember what Peter was saying? That you take the frequency of the negative thing that's bringing you down and you do the opposite of that and you create more power to neutralize it. That's what Cellsonic does. Also take a look at C60, we just talked about it, and take a look at Black Diamond. And we'll be talking to John from who makes our fulvic humic, which is the only pure humic fulvic in the world, no heavy metals. And it all comes out of Drumheller, which is the richest humic fulvic in the world for mine that you can mine. When's John coming on? Tomorrow at 11 Central Time, we'll have John talking about that. Let me see. Carolyn. Hello, Dr. Wolf. I would also like some information for friends that have the jab. One friend was admitted to the hospital last Thursday and is still unwell. Well, I would definitely want to have Peter's crystals for one thing in their life. He had the first Pfizer shot, ended up with a racing heart, 200 ppm, numb lips for days. Can you pick that up a little bit so I can read it? Body aches and pains and headaches and fatigue. I would love to be able to help them. I just gave you a clue. If they want to call up and do a perfect day consult, it's $150. We offer a money back guarantee on the consult and they'll get lifetime support. That's where they're going to get the real information. I don't want to come on here and look like the vax expert. I don't want to come on here and look like I'm trying to make money off of people in this situation. Okay, so I'd rather not talk about it over and over again. Just know this, that you can undermine the V and you can undermine the C and understand we're bigger than we think we are and we're more powerful too. Mary Jane, I use less gas in car with one on my neck, thinking I should carry the Guardian in my bag. Okay, anybody else?
Well, then everyone would get, everyone on the highway she's around.
That's absolutely. Okay, Jennifer, my dog has skin conditions. Would I get a bodyguard and put it around my dog's neck on his collar? Peter.
That would be one way of certainly doing it, depending on how long the dog is in the home. The home protector would be also, you know, the dog is, if it's in the home more than it is outside, the home protector. But if you can certainly, we've got a lot of people putting them on collars. There's no question about it. And probably it's not the most nicest looking, but if it's hanging, dogs get into certain things, running through bushes and that kind of thing. So you can just take some electrical tape and tape it onto the collar, and it's protected and doesn't flap around and it doesn't bother the dog. So that's how we have got a lot of people have that on their dogs, and it seems to be really calming them down and, making them more friendly.
Okay. Susan says, my 1-year-old has still suffering from colic and she has rashes all over her body. Would this make a difference? Would I put the protector in her room or would I just hang a bodyguard on her crib?
Either one would work. I know we've had a lot of people that were suffering acid reflux, and after they water dependent for a period of, very quickly, the acid reflux diminished. So it's just certainly I would, if you're thinking of doing it, for the whole family, I would buy the protector and stick it to the whole house so the whole family and the baby could get the same benefits as well as the plants that are in that house.
Beautiful. Just so the other thing too, just so you know, the baby has rashes because the baby has bowel problems, but we already know that. Colic stands for colon. No, I'll read that one. Leave it. That's okay. The acre. And the baby has colic, which means colon. And if you're still breastfeeding the baby, you might want to take a look if you're doing dairy or any gluten products or too much sugar or flour products, that's for sure, because the baby's taking it on. And if the baby's eating, you're giving the baby the wrong food. And I don't mean it that way, but you could give it a lot high vibrational, real foods. And the baby has a bowel problem. So you might want to take a look at maybe just giving the baby, and honestly, just look at giving the baby an ounce of daily cleansing tea once or twice a day, and also getting the baby on a little bit of black diamond powder, and you should be able to turn that around. Tracy, such amazing info. Thank you. It remains one of my priorities to purchase a guardian protector for my acre property here in SA. I'm saving up because of the exchange rate here. I love your energy. Well, just know that they're on sale, the biggest sale that they're going to be on today, and that runs until Monday. German, Jana, I have crystals from you. It helped me, but 14 days ago, I got the virus, and now I'm on oxygen the last 14 days. Any idea why did this happen? Well, first of all, most people do not realize it, but their lungs are congested. The alveoli are filled with mucus, and people are not healthy. I want to tell you something right now. I've noticed this bigger than any time I've ever seen it. With people coming here to Mexico, they are so unhealthy. You have no idea. A lot of people come here and they're so stressed out. By the time they get here, then they end up getting what we could call flu cold symptoms, or they feel sick because of all the stress that's being caused in their life over this C thing and the V thing, that when they come down here, they can hear the birds, everything calms down and their body goes, thank God the tiger's not chasing us. Now we're going to have to put you to bed so that we can heal. So people do not understand. You cannot terrorize yourself or let other people do it. And you cannot misbehave and eat like the population does right now. The population is killing themselves. They're eating themselves to death. There's no other way to say it. And they don't know how to look after themselves. And practitioners don't even know how to look after themselves. Seriously. Look at what God has given us. And look at the shape we're in, and the emotional shape and the physical shape. It's pretty pathetic, don't you think? I think so for the majority of the population. And I didn't say people were pathetic, but I'll tell you what's wrong. It's their belief systems, because they're not checking them. They're not erasing and replacing them with self-care and self-love. Can we go down farther? Let me see here. Yes, I suffer from headaches all the time. I have a burning in my mouth. Could this be 5G? And would the bodyguard help me? Peter?
Yeah, I think it would. One thing that was going through my mind the whole time was the fact that if there is 5G in the area and it's, excuse me, getting rid of the healthy bacteria in your digestive system, even, people take one shot of antibiotics, they can wipe out their whole flora in their whole body for about a year. It takes a year to replace it. So it's important that we if we have a digestive problem, it could be, constipation, whatever, that prebiotics and probiotics or something that acts in that realm would be very beneficial because a healthy gut gives you a healthy body. And that's where it all starts. If you're if you're not doing regular bowel movements, I mean, your brain starts getting really foggy and it's not healthy. So to get your body in rhythm and keep it in rhythm, it does take a bit of work. I have a regime I do every day with my supplements, vitamins and minerals. And, we're using the iodine and now I'm on the C60, both the coconut and the
Hemp oil?
the one. I'm having a hard time thinking of the one.
It's all right,
anyway.
my friend.
Yeah, so and again, every day at noon, I have a heaped up tablespoon of silica, which is, and I mix it with water and drink it down. And the silica fiber, it goes through you. It helps to loosen and it picks up a lot of the toxins and cholesterol and a whole bunch of other stuff as it goes through. So it's just getting into a system where first thing in the morning, that's my main thing. I get up and I do all the stuff that I take. I take the protein drink and the greens drink and everything to stay, because today, you can't eat enough green vegetables because there's nothing in them anyway, but hopefully the ones that are dehydrating and putting into these drinks that I buy have all the necessary vitamins and minerals in them. So
beautiful.
Yeah, and then that's and that covers that takes a lot of the digestive problems and even to a certain degree sugar problems and out of your daily regime. So yeah, people have to definitely start looking at what they're putting in their mouths and eating. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Diane asks, wow, so I imagine these crystals would keep ticks at bay. I just received my protector an hour ago, and I'm noticing my chronic nose running has stopped. So can you talk to her about the ticks?
The ticks, well, again, all these ticks, are these bed bugs or is this just a tick where you're nervous jumping?
That would be the nervous jumping.
Okay. Well, that would make more sense. Yeah, it's calming the nerves. It has a soothing effect. It calms the nerves, and those ticks will stop, and you become much calmer. And you'll find as you go along, if you can be at peace with everything and don't get too tied up with that, what's happening, and like
Absolutely.
the vaccines and everything else that we have to go through. So love yourself. That's the best thing you can do. There's no question.
Absolutely. Tracy, what crystal do you recommend for an acre property with 2 houses on it?
That would probably be if they're using that acre for growing vegetables or lawns, or I would get the Guardian. We have we have one apple tree that was so loaded with apples, and we had such a dry year, but there was well over half a ton of apples on that tree. And I've had other people, I had a gentleman from Quebec City said he has never seen so many apples and cherries on his trees. And we've heard of people in California that has a protector. The farmers, they had orange trees in their yards, and the farmers that didn't have any oranges were going down through the suburbs, picking the oranges off the trees to put because they had none in the fields. So, and not necessarily did they have protectors in it, all those homes, but one person had one in it, and so if you're going to grow food, the interesting thing about if you grow food like potatoes, we grow potatoes, and normally they claim that you gain weight, but really, if they're healthy potatoes, you can actually lose weight. And we've noticed this over and over and over that healthy food keeps your body healthy and keeps the weight off. So
That's the way it is, isn't it?
It's the way it is, yeah.
So, Tracy, can we order from South Africa? Tracy, we send our products everywhere around the world. You can insure them even if they get lost. It's not expensive anymore. We've really worked on trying to get the best way to do this. Now, if you're ordering from North America, Canada, United States, you're going to call 855-900-4544. And that's where you're going to order. If you're ordering anywhere else around the world, you can do this. You can go, if you don't want to order online, you can call it in on WhatsApp or Telegram or WhatsApp or Telegram, or even go on FaceTime. The phone number is 250-215-8004. That goes right to the worldwide. We have a worldwide shipping warehouse, so it ships all over the world, and that's 250-215-8004. And that's on Facebook, that's on Telegram, and that's also on WhatsApp. And WhatsApp is used the most around the world right now for people who want to call in their orders. Okay? Jen, I'm just going to make this quick. Jen asked, can you use C60 with children? Jen, guess what? You can use any of our products with children or pets. Can you believe that? Okay. Things that are healthy for everyone. It's the funniest thing, Jen. People think that health products are like drugs. They're not. Health is health. There's no products that I have that would harm a child ever, or even a pet that I know of. Okay. All right. And Peter, what else would you like to tell everyone before we wrap it up?
Well, regarding the lady in South Africa, we've communicated with a company down there that actually they're short of water, and they have these huge tanks that they put at the houses, and they have them filled up with trucks to put water in the tanks. If you had a guardian or protector on that property, it would keep that water it almost structures the water. It'd be highly oxygenated, and it has a profound effect on if you're watering plants with or drinking it for people or animals. So it's everybody has I've been in Africa too, and the water was awful. We went to Togo, and the king of Togo, he was toasted us, and he toasted us with gin because the water wasn't fit to drink. Anyway, just bear in mind what I'm producing with these crystals is an all-around health for everything in the environment. It could be all of your pets, everything in the soil, in the air, and in your home. And it's also benefiting your health. And this is our whole mission as we go along, because these energies are constantly changing as technology has changed around us. So we are also staying on top of everything. And fortunately, we have good people on farms that will call us and tell us, is this, I had a farmer phone me up and he said, I got certain weed in my garden, in my fields. Right? And he had a radionics machine. I said, well, just take the weed and burn it, and then put the ash in the machine and broadcast it and kill all the weeds in the field. That's all it does. So everything is frequency. So yeah, we have I had a call today from a farmer that had trouble. He was up near Quebec City, and he was having trouble with cows. And I would imagine in my day, I have 20 calls a day from farmers just asking for my opinion or help, whether it's growing crops or even fertilizing crops. It's part of my life, and I'm blessed to be able to do what I'm doing, and I will continue the best I can. And it's what we're put here, I believe, as human beings. We come down with a mission to do, and my mission is to do what we're doing today to enhance the health of all life on this planet. And it's becoming more and more important that we start looking at the big picture of what we're doing. It's just the way I think. And we have so many animals in our yard, deer and turkeys and stuff. They're a little bit of a nuisance at times, but they're God's creatures, and we appreciate everything that God gave us. So that would be my final comment.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay.
I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I want everybody to know something. We're not talking about glass. We're talking about the highest grade crystal here. And he has one of the most well-known glass blowers in the country, don't you, making these?
Yeah. He's now, again, with your help by marketing these products, he has now got 4 full-time blowers that are working in that plant. And again, they do their morning prayers and meditation before they start, and they're in the right frame of mind to produce these crystals, because
thank God
they're putting in their energy into it too. So they're made with love, and and we appreciate that too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We love you, Peter, and thanks for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Have a beautiful
Well, thank
day,
you.
and we'll see you again maybe in about a month, and we'll find out what other
Perfect.
crazy nonsense thing
Well,
you're up to.
I can assure you we'll have some really new stuff to talk
I know.
about again. Okay.
You know what? The world of frequency is unlimited,
Yep.
just
Yep,
as
it
we
is.
are. We are unlimited light energy, electrical magnetic beings, and everyone, you just got to see me interview one of the best in the universe. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Darryl. Talk
God
to you
bless
later.
you. God
Yep,
bless,
you
my
too.
friend.
Yep.
So everybody just know this, that like I said, give them a try. You can call me. My extension is number 5. I'm always open for your calls, except for right now. We've had a few come in. I got one coming in right now from Patrick, 646-770-0336. My phone never stops ringing. I will catch up here before my next show. I've got George Roach coming in, and he's with the Canadian watch, which means he's watching and protecting your rights, like real rights, the real law, not rules that these fools have made. They're also moving into the States, and he's going to be sharing with you. And what he's doing is he's following what's going on in Canada and even in the United States. And he's trying to keep people posted on what their next move is, so you know what your next move is. But I'll tell you something right now. if you have the chance to move down here, you might want to come down and check us out, at least for the next few months. Come and hang out with us. You don't have to come and take our courses, our trainings, our treatments, but you might want to come down because it's beautiful down here. And I'll tell you, we're not feeling what everybody else is feeling. And you know what? Look after your feelings. Look after your emotions. Look after your health, because it's the most important thing in your life. Sean, can I see just the script, please? And I want to see what's coming up so I can go back through it. So don't forget, everyone, that Tuesday, November the 23rd, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time, we have the miracle of humic fulvic. And understand something, you can get it or don't get it. We have the best humic fulvic in the world, guys. We do. Hands down, I'll be challenged by anyone who has humic fulvic, and we'll be able to prove that. Wednesday, I will be on with, can you bring the script up, please? Wednesday, November 24th, I'll be on with Terry Mullins. Terry Mullins invented infinite iodine. It has the molecular structure. It's the only natural iodine, non-toxic iodine in the world, smallest molecular weight. It'll neutralize any COVID or any viral infection in 15 seconds. And that is the God's truth. You spray it in the back of your throat. You can spray it in your eyes, put it in your ears. You can put it in any orifice that you want. We even do vaginal infusion with it. You can also nebulize this and put it into your lungs and totally turn your lungs around by using this, by doing it consistently, because it's all about infection, everyone. So Thursday at 12 p.m., I'll be on with Richard with C60. And we carry C60 hemp oil, C60 MCT oil. And like I told you, we have the strongest and the purest C60 going. And again, I know I'm always saying this, but the reality is it's true. Okay, and then if you'll pick it up for me, Sean, please. Keep doing it if you could. Friday, Avicen, we are going to be talking about microcirculation. And understand, you know how they said that it was telomeres, that's what made you live long or not? Then they told you it was your genetics. Well, guess what? It isn't. It's your microcirculation. So on Thursday, can I please have it back, please? On Thursday at Friday, I will have Tom, okay, who invented Avicen. See, okay, now I know it's an energy medicine, it's a device, and it's something, but he's going to talk to you about something that increases your circulation by 67%. The best energy medicine device on the planet only does it by what, 33%? We're talking 67. He's going to show you how microcirculation, if your circulation's already going in your macrocirculation, your arteries and veins, then you're already losing it in your microcirculation, and you never have an autoimmune disease, or you never have a tumor, you never have degrading tissue, or you never have joint problems if you've got your microcirculation. So we'll be talking about that on Friday at 12 o'clock. Now, please understand that today's show with George Roach, okay, is X-rated. X-rated for who? For Facebook, for YouTube. It's X-rated for the government, the medical system, not all of them, but a good part of them. So that show will be coming down right away today and going on t.me/The Doc of Detox. That's Telegram. It'll also be going on Rumble on Doc of Detox, BitChute on the Doc of Detox, and also on Odyssey. Can we get that up there, please, Sean? They stopped putting it there. Odyssey is a big one that they use. And Sean, please check with the boys to make sure that they're moving it on to Odyssey every day. All of them need to be going there. Okay? Now, if you need to call me, I will get back to you. Be persistent. If you've called once, call twice, call 3 times. And the reality is do not give up. My number's 855-900-4544, extension 5. If you're calling from around the world and you want to talk to me, you're going to call 250-801-5893 on WhatsApp or Telegram. Okay, that's the best way to get me. Okay? Or you can text your number to that phone number, 250-801-5893, and I will call you on my dial pad, which I can call anywhere around the world. All right. And don't forget, we have our upcoming course, New World Practitioner Certification, January 14th. And it actually goes until February the 10th. Okay. There's the 5 bonus days. Can you make sure that they rewrite that, please? Okay. Because it goes actually for about 28 days. So I would tell you to come for 31 days, 30 to 31 days to my course if you want to get the most out of it, everybody. And then we have another course, my apologies. So we have a course January the 14th, okay? And then we have another course in February, and you can go to www.newworldpractitioner.com if you want more information about that. Or you can join me, which is Tuesdays, and it's tomorrow. What time is it tomorrow? I think it's 12, right? Yeah, 12 o'clock for the New World Practitioner. And again, if you want to join us there, what is the Zoom they join? So I need that to have there as well. Can you please get that from Drake so we can put it up? On George's show in about an hour, we will be back at 2 o'clock and Central Time with George Roach, and it's called One Love, One Law. Okay? I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I want to thank Peter. And like I said, we have a Black Friday sale on, so you might want to take advantage of that. We have almost everything on sale that we sell. Okay? But before you do any of that or buy anything, buy into yourself, buy into self-love, buy into self-care, because that's the most important thing you could ever do. God bless and have a beautiful day. Take care. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver?
We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it. Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited. What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time. Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite. You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together. So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the whole life coach certification is all about. In the whole life coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners, or even so-called whole life coaches, that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart, and we're going to become the spark that you seek. Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in, because you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win. I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico, and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited, because this is your life. And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams, and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. So what is a New World practitioner? Well, a New World practitioner is somebody that understands that training comes before treatment.
Have I noticed any changes in myself since taking this course? Oh, yes. Yes, I have. I definitely have.
There's so much more ahead of you, and there's so much more that you can find within yourself, and there's so much that you can let go of to free yourself. And I'm excited to be able to help others find their power.
It's not a treatment. It's like a restoration. You can renew your body. And I didn't understand what was preventing me from healing.
I guess this is where I kind of get emotional, because Daryl truly cares, not only for himself, but humanity in general. And he wants to educate people to live their best lives and learn to love themselves first before anybody else.
The Whole Life Coach certification. We go deeper in that 8 days than anybody else goes when it comes to learning how the invisible creates the physical, the psychological creates the biological. And we teach you about energy medicine and about vibration and frequency, because that's all it is.
He really cares for everybody. He wants to educate as many people as he can, their own healers / practitioners. He wants to get the knowledge out.
Dr. Wolf and the whole crew, Sage and his bodywork techniques, learning it, everybody here has just been so incredible. They're so supportive. It's been a really cool experience.
I've seen nothing but incredible results day after day, hour by hour, while they work on people who get finally the effect and results that they've looked for everywhere else and never got. So they're amazing, amazing.
On a daily thing, I'm becoming more flexible and more pain-free. It's a process of treatments because of the damage I've done to my body. But yeah, I expect to be doing backflips. You know, I'm 64 years old, I'll be doing backflips.
When it comes to the Wolf non-surgical certification, nobody can pull fibroids apart or reverse joint, muscle, tendon, ligament problems or scar tissue from surgery quicker than we can. And we offer a money-back guarantee to all our patients. Now, why would we do that? Because we pull off the I am possible and we reverse the irreversible.
They're so professional, yet so fun. They know how to push you to your limit. They encourage you, so it's a whole positive training, and really every one of them has a piece that they offer to the business. and they don't miss things. They let you go to the next level.
To use my love and light to be in service of others. And that's part of healing, right? Where as my elbow is connecting to that skin, you know, I'm delivering my frequency to the person that is seeking that work, you know, because I will always have that love and light inside me.
And a New World practitioner understands that you can't give what you're not. So until you understand that unconditional love and care for oneself is what you need to become so that you can give that to your patients, don't expect a different outcome than every other practitioner out there. And that's what we teach here, because you need to become what you want to see in all of your patients. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you to turn your life around. And to turn your life around, you're going to have to go within if you want to change without. And that's the bottom line. And you know, people think that they can do it like with a consultation, or maybe they can do it with a telephone call or a Band-Aid or a 911 emergency, a treatment. But understand, that's not the way it is. The day that you realize that when you master your mind is the only time you're going to master your body. Forget your life. That's always going to be just random luck until you know that you must become the master of your day. From the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes, you must be the only authority for you. And if you think that getting an hour consultation is going to do it, it's not. If you think that going for therapy is going to do it, it's not. You have to submerge yourself into what we would call the personal treatment and training. And you need to do that from anywhere from 6 days to 10 days, or you need to come for my whole life coach certification, because if you don't go in deep, you'll never make changes. They say it takes 10,000 times for you to repeat something before it becomes a prominent, dominant thought. And if you understood that 70 to 90% of all your thoughts are not yours, and they say that 70% of your thoughts are toxic, tell me they're not. Take a look at the majority of the population. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body is attacking itself. Before that, though, the person was attacking themselves on a subconscious, unconscious level. And that, my friend, is the bottom line, and why you must take a personal treatment and training and go deep and understand how to run your life. What that means is learning how to think, how to drink, how to eat, and knowing when somebody is mistreating you, when someone is disrespecting you, because until you honor and respect yourself, no one else is going to do it. So understand, this is your life. If you want to live your passion and purpose, then you must become the master of your mind to become the master of your body so that you can become the light for your family. So please, consider this. You've got the time and you've got the money, because you're going to change the rest of your life for the rest of your life. And that's my guarantee to you.